Listen, I want to let you in on a little secret. It's something that's hiding right there in plain sight, but most of us, we only figure it out when it's way, way too late. Now, on the surface, it's a secret about money, sure, but it's really about happiness, about peace. It's about this one single word that can save you from yourself.
If you really think about it, most people, especially diligent, smart people like you, they don't actually lose all their money. I mean, they work hard, they try to put a little bit aside, they invest for the future. And yeah, there are ups and downs, of course. But a total, catastrophic, wipeout loss, that's actually super rare. So no, that's not what they lose.
They lose something so much more valuable, something that once it's really gone, you can never ever buy it back. They lose sleep. They lose their perspective on what actually matters. They lose that quiet, that inner sense of peace. And some, well, some lose their soul. And the real tragedy? They don't even feel it slipping away. Okay, so how does this even happen? Well, it all starts with this picture I want you to hold in your head. It's a ladder, but it's not a normal ladder. It's the ladder of achievement, of success, of status. And whether we even realize it or not, we are all on it, every single one of us. You've been on that ladder for years, haven't you? Just think back for a second. Remember when you were just starting out, feet on that very first rung, looking up at what just felt like an impossible climb. That ambition, it was like a fire in your belly. Your goal was so simple back then. Just get to the next rung. A slightly better job, a little more in savings, a car that actually starts every morning. And you made a promise to yourself, right? A quiet little promise. If I can just get there, if I can just make it to that specific spot, then I'll be happy. Then I can finally breathe. And here's the crazy part. You did it. You actually made it to that rung. The goal that once seemed so far away is now literally beneath your feet. You hit that number in your bank account you thought was impossible. And for just a second, you stand there, waiting for this huge wave of relief and satisfaction to wash over you. The deep, lasting peace you thought you earned. But it doesn't come. Instead, there's just this strange quiet. And almost like it has a mind of its own, your head tilts, and you look up. And there it is. Another rung. And one above that. And that little voice, the one you thought you'd finally beaten, it just whispers. Just one more. You can get that one too. And that moment right there, that pivot from being grateful for where you are to grasping for what's next, that is where everything important gets lost. It's the moment we forget the most powerful, the most underrated, and honestly, the most freeing word in the entire English language. It's a word that, if you truly, deeply understand it, can build a fortress around your happiness that nothing, no amount of envy, no comparison, can ever break through. And that word is enough. To really get the life or death importance of this word, we need a story. This is a tale of two men. Both of them climbed to the very highest rungs of that ladder. Both achieved a level of success most of us can't even imagine. But their stories, they end in completely different universes. And the only thing that separated them was whether or not they understood this one simple idea. You see, one man had everything anyone could ever rationally want, but he just had to have more. And in reaching for that little bit more, he lost everything. The other man also had everything, and because he knew he had enough, he was able to patiently build an entire empire that's going to outlast him by generations. So let's start with the tragedy, the cautionary tale. It's a story about a man who had already won the game. I mean, by every single metric, he had won. But he just couldn't bring himself to leave the table. He kept playing, and he kept risking everything he had and needed for just a little bit more of what he didn't. His name was Rajat Gupta.
Now, in case you don't know that name, let me just paint a quick picture for you of the heights this man reached. Gupta was the global head of McKinsey & Company. That's arguably the most prestigious consulting firm on the entire planet. He was a trusted advisor to presidents and CEOs. He was on the board of directors for giants like Goldman Sachs. He was basically a billionaire. His reputation was perfect. In the world of finance, he was absolute royalty.
I mean, just look at what he had. He'd done it. He had everything a person could ever logically want. Unbelievable power, the deep respect of absolutely everyone, more money than he and his family could ever spend in 10 lifetimes. He was standing on the very top rung of the ladder. But he looked up. He imagined there was another one.
So right in the middle of the 2008 financial crisis, while he was in a Goldman Sachs board meeting, he got a piece of top-secret information. Warren Buffett was about to invest $5 billion to save the bank. This was a massive, market-moving secret. Now Gupta, a man who needed no more money, a man whose life would not change one single bit with another $1 million, he took that secret, and in just a few seconds, he illegally passed it to a hedge fund manager. He did it for more, and he got caught. His reputation, something he'd built over his entire lifetime, just vanished. Instantly. He was sentenced to federal prison. He traded a boardroom for a prison cell, all because he had no idea what enough meant. Okay, now let's step out of that darkness and into the light. Let's talk about the other man in our story, the very man whose investment was the secret that Gupta sold, a name I'm sure you know very well, Warren Buffett.
Right now, Warren Buffett's net worth is over $100 billion. I mean, that's a number that's so big, it's hard to even wrap your head around, right? He's one of the wealthiest people to ever walk the earth. But the secret to how he did it is so beautifully simple, so incredibly patient, that most people just miss it. They go looking for some complicated trick, but there isn't one.
See, he didn't get this rich by taking these insane risks, hoping for some huge, fast payoff. The vast majority of his fortune was actually earned after his 60th birthday. His real secret isn't just that he's a brilliant investor. It's that he has been a consistently good investor since he was 10 years old. The real magic, the true engine of his wealth, is time. He's simply let the miracle of compounding do its thing for over 80 years. Think about that, 80 years. His skill wasn't just picking stocks, it was staying in the game. He never, ever took the kind of risk that could wipe him out, because he knew the biggest risk of all was being forced to stop playing. And this is the most important part. Buffett's goal was never to be the richest guy in the cemetery. I mean, what's the point of that? It's a totally empty prize. No, his goal right from the beginning was something else. It was freedom. The freedom to wake up every single morning and do exactly what he wanted to do with the people he wanted to do it with for as long as he was alive. He figured out his enough decades ago. And that definition, it became like a shield, protecting his mind and his money from the poison of always wanting more. So there you have it, our two stories. One man completely destroyed by always chasing more. The other building an empire on the solid foundation of enough. Now, let's bring this all back home. Let's make this about you. Let's talk about your financial finish line. I want you to listen to me very closely right now. I'm going to ask you a question. And I'm not asking the version of you that posts on social media. I'm asking the real you. The you that's lying awake at 3 in the morning, just staring at the ceiling when all the noise of the world is gone. What is your number? What is your real, honest-to-God enough? Not some fantasy number to impress other people. What is the actual dollar amount that if you hit it would give you complete and total freedom from ever worrying about money again? What's the number that lets you finally walk away from the game? Almost nobody has ever really answered this question for themselves. And that is the single most dangerous financial spot you can be in. Because if you don't define enough, the world will happily define it for you. And its definition is always the same: more. There's this writer, Morgan Housel, who just nails it when he says, "There is no reason to risk what you have and need for what you don't have and don't need." Just let that sink in for a second. Think about what you have right now that you truly need. And what are you risking it for? The engine that drives this whole destructive chase, this constant feeling that you're somehow behind, is comparison. It's seeing the perfect vacation photos, the new car, the big promotion announcement. And social media has turned this into a weapon. It's like this perfectly built machine engineered for one purpose: to completely destroy your sense of enough. It forces you to compare your real, messy, behind-the-scenes life with the highlight reels of billions of other people, and it just whispers over and over and over, "Why isn't this you?" Now, hold on. Let's be absolutely clear about something. This is not about being complacent. Complacency is giving up on growth, letting your skills get rusty. No. Contentment is something else entirely. It's an active, powerful choice. It is the deep realization that the game you are playing, you've already won it. And once you know you've won, you can stop taking all the crazy risks you took when you're still trying to get ahead. So, how do you do it? How do you find this enough? It starts with a really quiet, honest moment with yourself. First, you have to find some time to be totally alone. No phone, no distractions. Second, write down what a life of true freedom actually looks like for you. Your life, not someone else's. Third, put a real, actual number on it. And fourth,
And this is the most important part. You have to make a promise to yourself, a serious promise, that when you hit that number, the goalposts stop moving. The game changes. You switch from playing offense to playing defense. You stop risking what is truly important for what isn't. You know, the real tragedy of Rajat Gupta wasn't just that he was greedy. It's that he was like a marathon runner who forgot where the finish line was. He was just so used to running that he kept on going, long after the race was over. Don't let that be your story. Because real wealth, the kind that actually leads to a deep, joyful life, it's not about having the most. It's about wanting what you already have.
So I'll ask you one last time. What is your number? Because the most important asset you will ever have isn't a stock or a house, it's your peace of mind. And you have to guard it, protect it, define your own finish line. Decide on your number before the world decides it for you.